Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Kurah Kadash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching this truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Bashim Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and your speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person or so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got some videos lined up on the Mark of the Beast, digital ID, and that's it. I'm gonna play these videos. I'm gonna get into the scripts to my best ability, say whatever God say through spirit and power, Yahweh Bashim Shah, the Holy Spirit, the Kurhak Wadash, Lord, and beyond me. Let's get it.
The thing that pisses me off about the social media ban is it's punishing children. It's punishing children for the crimes that adults have committed. My daughter said to me yesterday, she's 14, she said, it's hilarious, isn't it, that the people that want to ban social media are the ones that made the algorithms. They're the demographic that came up with this. It's that cohort of people that came up with social media, and now that cohort of people want to ban social media. You can see where she's coming from with that, can't you? We've got people that create harmful and disgusting content, and they're allowed to still do so. A social media ban will come in, and the very next day...
Yeah, there's a lot of people making harmful, disgusting platforms. Meanwhile, men out there making videos, preaching from out the Bible, prophesying and what's going on, calling out the wicked that rule the world, even the wicked of their own people, telling them to repent, seek the Lord. And they get their child to lead in this shit, you know what I'm saying? But then, meanwhile, you got motherfuckers pushing homosexuality, murder, death, drugs, sex continuously. Well, nothing wrong with that, but I mean, goddamn, it's like trying to over sexualize little kids and shit, and plus once again push homosexuality and dykeism and Christianity and such. Yeah, that's something wrong with that too, Christianity. But anyway, all that shit get a green light, but meanwhile, preaching the truth is wrong. Anyway, back to the video.
You'll still be able to make that harmful content, and you can put it in all other places. We'll just stop people accessing it through their phones. Children will be punished for the actions of adults, which happens all the time in this country. Let's look at what's happening in education. Children are being punished because of the actions of the Department for Education. So social media ban. Effectively, you will need to prove you're 18. How do you do that? You give your ID. Clever. But we're not introducing ID cards, digital ID cards. But you will give your ID if you want to use social media. See what they did there? Around the back door. It's under the guise of we want to protect the children. Keir Starmer looks back to the 70s and 80s where you went to play out in the street. Well done, Keir. When you went to play out in the street, people weren't running around with machetes, stabbings, murders, rapes. That was happening, but not to the extent it's happening today. So your 70s and 80s childhood is very, very, very different to the childhood of today's kids. What they have to put up with, what they have to deal with, what they have to think of, what they have to factor in. When a child walks home from a friend's house, the parents want to know where they are every step of the way. This normally happens on Snapchat. But that's banned now. So that safety mechanism has been removed. And what's been put in its place? Anything? Life 360 that you have to pay for. What else has been put there? Are we tagging our children? Is that what we're going to move on to? Because we haven't thought this through. Now, banning social media, as I've said, has its place in certain areas. But what have we come up with as an alternative for our tech-friendly children who are moving into a tech-friendly world? Because we send them to school and the most disadvantaged children will get an AI tutor. They will build up a relationship with an AI bot, but they're not allowed to go on Snapchat. We're replacing the predator with a different kind of predator. And we haven't tested it, and we haven't trialled it, and we haven't sense-checked it. We've just rolled it out because it made a really good headline one day. Only it didn't, did it? It took about 30 seconds to pull it apart. We're banning social media because we want to protect children, but the people that create the content that harms the children are still walking the streets. So how have we protected children? What have we done? We've put in half a piece of legislation, and that legislation is a headline. It's not an active working model. If you look at Australia, kids have found a million ways to get around it. They will, of course they will. They'll find a way to get around the ban, and the content will still exist. We haven't done the full job. We've done half a job, which is what this government always does, half a job. And I keep coming back to the sentence. We've punished the children, but the criminals are still walking around. Now, I welcome anything that keeps our children safer, but I also do this old school thing called parenting. So I don't want my kids scrolling for 9 hours, so I don't let them. Now, do I have to rugby tackle them to the ground to take their phones off them? Or do I just put screen time on my phone so that they can't have it? Do I take their phones out of their bedrooms at night? No phones at the table. No phones in front of the television. House rules, where you can and can't have your phone. Their phones are locked up at school. As a society, the majority of us had cottoned onto this a long time ago. The majority of us had worked it out. There were some that hadn't and some that needed a bit of steer in that direction. That's okay. But we have to move forwards from this. Punishing the children is not the answer.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, this shit gonna be everybody. Hell. Let's get to the next one. I didn't know what this shit was gonna be about, so I said see digital ID, so I'm like, let me see what this is about. I don't play these videos, I just play. I watched a little bit of it, but then I was like, let me not play the rest of it, cause I don't I don't like seeing things twice. I want to see it once, and then get my first and best impression, and then move on to the next one.
Apple Card is a no-fee credit card that you can apply for right from the Wallet app on your iPhone.
One of the things that will tide you over during tough times are gold and silver. And one of the things that you can't trust are the banks. History is on my side when I say that. It's not a paranoid comment. 1929, my mom's side of the family, very wealthy relatives of the so-called great Henry Ford, who knew what was coming, didn't bother to warn his relatives, and they took a bath. Banks took everything. Now, the banks we know can bail you out. In other words, $100,000 you had the bank? Well, that's now worth $30,000. That's a bailout, or bail-in, I should say. A bailout's where your money is being taken from your account through inflation to pay off debts. Government's doing projects with people making lots of money, like DARPA, like the military-industrial complex and Raytheon Corporation to fight the forever wars. That's another way that you're drained. But there's nothing you can do about it, really, because once you put your money in the bank, the Dodd-Frank law of 2010 says you're an unsecured creditor and they own your money. Now, the reason they don't take it today is they're making a lot of money loaning it out. It's called fractional reserve banking. For every dollar you put in the bank, they're allowed to loan out 9. Well, how would you like that deal? You do that, it's called counterfeiting, and you go to prison. The Fed does it, it's called a business day. But they get to do that, fractional reserve banking, and the money is not your own anymore. That's what they can never be sued on that point. People tried. I really want an expertise on this. Look at the book written by G. Edward Griffin, The Creature from Jekyll Island, and that is still the classic book about the Federal Reserve. Then look at what the great Ron Paul, former Congressman Ron Paul, Dr. Ron Paul, I should say, and what he had to say about that. Oh, did they line up to stop him when he ran for president? Hook and crook. They threw everything at him but the kitchen sink. They could not have that man in power because they couldn't control him. So anyway, what are you going to do? Well, Noble Gold has answers for you. And this is almost a present.
I do not want to hear this shit.
So I know how this works over there. And whenever I interview someone from Noble Gold, this is ethical. Huh? I don't think they have their customers' best interest in mind. They're only serving their brief.
Now I want to start buffering. Goodness gracious. That will happen. Goddamn. What the fuck? My internet must be going to shit right now.
None of these things have been made illegal. I'm not accusing them of anything dastardly. Do I think it's unethical? Huh? I don't think they have their customers' best interest in mind. They're only serving their own needs. In the time that you started serving your own. 877-646-5347. Well, let's take a look at the second segment in this.
And it's buffering. It's probably something on my internet. Shit. That shit ain't moving. The damn thing ain't moving. Hold on. Let me try to pause. Let me pause the video. Be right back, little one. That's a goddamn shame. Oh, here we go.
We talked about Peter Thiel. Now I want to talk to you about a 51-year-old pastor named David. Had a heart attack. Collapsed on the floor. His secretary found him. They went through the motions at the hospital trying to revive him, but he's dead. He's not coming back. And so he's clinically dead for several minutes. I believe it was over a half hour. He came back with no brain damage. They called it a miracle. Put a miracle on it. I call it a gift from the Lord.
You know what? Let's see if that's true. Something like that should be on the news. I'm just gonna voice it. Pastor wakes up. Damn. Pastor was considered dead, but woke up several hours later in the hospital, alive. Let me see. The story you are thinking of likely referred to Ryan Marlowe in North Carolina, pastor who was declared critically brain dead in August 2022 after a severe Listeria infection, but woke up from a coma just moments after his organs were to be donated. What the fuck? No, this ain't it. But I'm thinking it would. Alright, fuck it. I'm just gonna go to this. Go back to the video. I ain't gonna have time looking for the.
So anyway, here's what he saw initially. Initially, he saw this huge mass infrastructure being installed across the country. What? Huge mass infrastructure being installed across the country. And you're saying, uh-oh, this sounds familiar. And so, what do you say?
And that shit been going on. That shit been going on since 2020. I mean, shit. They went overhauling with that shit in 2020. When everybody was locked inside. Trying to stay safe. Trying to stay safe from a fucking invisible floating some spit saliva or some shit.
Hey, this sounds familiar to you. What is it that you're saying, ladies and gentlemen? Come on. You're saying data centers. There were only a few 10 years ago. Now there's 5,400. In 5 years, they project there's going to be 40 to 50,000. In Palantir rental, not Palantir, excuse me, in, I just drew a blank on it. Pulte homes, rental homes. They're putting mini data centers in the yards. Not all of them, some of them. They're even trying it on some existing homeowners. Remember Monica Weslasky, a State Department employee that we tried to help well over a decade ago? Those who followed me for a long time. Well, I keep in touch with Monica, and they tried to put one in her yard, in her neighborhood. They fought it, and they didn't want the attention, so they backed off. Huge infrastructure that this pastor saw. And they just said, oh, this is just for commerce. This is just to make life more efficient. Just go back to sleep. Everything's okay. Don't worry about it. Well, we already know there's a lot to worry about. My electric bill personally is up 17% this year because I'm paying millionaires to become billionaires with data centers. Well, it's true. And they're signing, our leaders are signing non-disclosure agreements to make these under-the-table deals, and then by the time the details get disclosed, it's already done. That happened in Box Elder County in Utah. People are up in arms there, but their leaders sold them out, literally and figuratively.
I thought this would be about Mark of the Beast. This is talking about the infrastructure, yeah. I thought it was talking about the Mark of the Beast, the chip implant. But it's all tied into one. Can't deny that. It's all a part of one big old system. And then the final thing that's needed is the people get microchip.
So these people are suffering noise that is relentless at night, pollution doubling in the immediate area. There's even a heat island effect from this. Not bad if you're in the winter, I suppose, but if you're in the summer, especially if you're in Arizona, that's not pleasant. And so we have all these side effects here. And by the way, they say, oh, we're giving mass jobs. The construction, that's true. But once the data center is built, it's AI that's running it. About the only employees are the security, and they're turning that over to AI robots. So the jobs argument is not true. It's not an accurate statement at all. And so we are being overwhelmed by what this pastor said was mass infrastructure. Now, we are looking, where does this go? Well, he was shown by Jesus. This ties into...
Oh my goodness. You mean Satan? Well, the Lord pours out his spirit to all flesh. Yeah, but isn't that fucking... There ain't no goddamn Jeebus. Shit, ain't that damn demon. That long-haired fucking hippie. Fuck no, that long-haired faggoty hippie.
Every...
Edomite nigger.
Thing. And we're going to be told, and we're already hearing some of this, these are wonders in place. The technology, the computer systems are so ramped up that we're all going to benefit from this.
Oh man, at least say should get an evangelist, for we're not ignorant of his devices at all. Let me go ahead and get to it. That nigga said, "Oh, it's gonna get better." That's a devil for you. That's a devil speaking. Heck yeah, that's a Edomite nigga speaking. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thy enemy, for his iron rustles, so is his wickedness. So though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped in a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. Yep.
Increased knowledge, increased productivity. It's going to be absolutely wonderful and marvelous. And
Yeah, marvelous for the elite, but not for the regular people.
it's almost being sold to us on a spiritual basis. Matthew 24:24 speaks to this. There'll be false prophets and fake Christ. I think we're getting into that domain here.
Yeah, that is true, but no, I mean, what are you talking about? That ain't got nothing to do with that scripture, but I mean, no, it ain't got nothing to do with that. But man, there will be false prophets and people claiming to be the anointed one. Shit.
And as a Christian, this is where discernment needs to come out. We're going to talk about in the next segment just how bad it's going to get.
Ah, shit, you gonna make it soft as can be, friendly as can be, nigga. If you want to know how bad it's gonna be, you need to holler at a Hebrew Israelite that's a prophet of Yahweh by Shema Vashah. Cause we ain't gonna fluff that shit up. We gonna tell you straight up, motherfuckers gonna be eating each other. Gonna be a lot of motherfuckers out there raping each other. There gonna be teeth of wild beasts tearing babies up and old people. And hey man, it's gonna get crazy out here. Shit, you might see Jason and Michael Myers walking around. Hey, you might see them motherfuckers walking around real life. Oh, big retarded ass niggas that's hacking your ass up. Shit, yeah.
And how they're going to roll it out.
The Lord make people see things, and there ain't gonna be no damn hallucinations.
Going to be the mechanisms. This pastor saw that, and it parallels exactly what I said at Clay Clark's seminar and what I said at Hear the Watchman presentation 2 years ago.
Alright, whatever, nigga. You ain't no prophet. Well, anyway, let's get to the next video. But I ain't gonna deny that, yeah, they setting up the Mark of the Beast infrastructure, sure enough, and all they need left is to get people microchip the Mark of the Beast, which goes in your right hand, or in your left, or in your feet, or in your butt cheeks, or your titties, big titties, small titties, or in your brain, your forehead, in your brain. They ultimately want it in your brain so they can definitely control your ass. And if you don't believe the Mark of the Beast is all that microchip implants, well, whatever.
Welcome to Daily Pulse, where we keep your finger on the pulse of the latest breaking news and the news they're keeping from you. A quick reminder to head on over to Rumble to watch our full show. And if you're not subscribed to our channel yet, do so right now to catch our no-holds-barred reporting brought to you by The Vigilant Fox and Z Media. Tonight, the UK has announced a social media age ban, aka digital ID to use social media. JD Vance apparently confirms reparations are on the table for Iran, and botched euthanasia exposes the horrific reality behind medical aid in dying.
Okay, there's a lot of shit she gonna be talking about. Let me see. UK social media ban, age, I think just digital ID. I guess this is it. Alright, let me get back.
Well, you may have heard this go on and he must meant that it has everything to do with forcing everyone to identify themselves online. But here is an announcement from Keir Starmer. We're banning social media access for under 16s. These days, kids must find their feet in a world where technology intrudes into every area of their life. We just can't let that go on anymore. So we're giving children their childhoods back, and someone told him
Unless they take the chip implant.
that it would be a really good PR move if he wore a very casual outfit for this announcement to make him more relatable as a dad. Take a listen to some of this.
Every parent wants the best for their kids, and that's what being a parent means. And for me, for my 2 kids,
And I believe that's what they're gonna try to say. Hey, in order for you to get back on there online for the kiddies, you gotta take that chip implant, nigga. And the kid be like, "Mama, take me to the tattoo parlor. I didn't get my chip implant. Shit, and you get a missile too for your ass.
All I've ever wanted,
Flaming hot warhead.
hand on heart, is for them to be safe and for them to be happy. And the rest is up to them. But you know, I think back to when I was growing up, and I have to say, I think we had it easier. These days, kids have to find their feet in a world that changes so quickly, where technology intrudes into every area of their lives. And we know that harms them. The response from parents in the consultation has been absolutely clear. Thousands of parents say their children are addicted to social media. It can leave them trapped in a cycle of endless scrolling that displaces play, sleep, and time with the family. It can harm their mental health. And frankly, parents need our support on this. That is why today, the government has decided to ban social media access for children under 16. It's a big step for our country. Now, it's not an easy thing to do, I'll be honest about that. We haven't rushed into it, we've looked carefully at the evidence. And we'll have to adapt our approach as technology changes. Learn from other countries which are taking similar steps. And it's fair to say that this decision has been resisted, and it will face resistance from some of the most powerful companies in the world. But we will take them on, and we will win. Because the need for action could not be any clearer. Social media is making our children unhappy and unsafe. And as a parent, as much as a Prime Minister, I just can't let that go on anymore. Because our children deserve better. They deserve a happy, safe childhood in a stronger, fairer Britain.
Really sorry you all had to sit through that very carefully rehearsed but obviously forced speech pretending this isn't about digital ID. First, to address his point around kids having to find their feet in a world that changes so quickly. Right, and banning them from seeing this world for what it really is, like the fact that people are being subjected to attempted beheadings by migrants, is vital for ensuring the future generation only has access to the information they learn in school, which is migrants good, beheadings normal, don't be a racist, thus shaping them into the perfect little state-loving plebs. And on the point that technology is intruding into every area of their lives, we actually agree. That's why replacing all of their future job prospects with AI is probably not a great idea, yet they're doing the data center thing anyway, to realize that future. And to the thousands of parents who reportedly responded to the consultations and are saying their children are addicted to their phones and presumably they don't know what to do about it, they're just overwhelmed by this, we say maybe they need parenting courses. Part 1 of that course should include how to not pass the responsibility of parenting to the government and instead learn how to be a parent yourself. Now, it's not an easy thing to do, I'll be honest about that. We haven't rushed into it, he says. Well, that part is honest, at least, because records show Mr. Larry Ellison of Oracle was working with Tony Blair on digital ID several years ago. In case anyone is still thinking, this is the government genuinely screaming, "Think of the children!" It's well and truly time to get your head out of the sand. Here is an article from Slate News. UK government announces digital mandate for all social media users, and this is part of a nationwide crackdown that they say is to protect children. The move has obviously triggered alarm among free speech advocates, privacy campaigners, and critics of government surveillance, who warn the policy represents a major step toward a digital ID system for internet access. Yes, because that's what it is. Under the plan, platforms including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, X, and YouTube will be required to block users under 16, while all users will be forced to undergo age verification checks. And as with all of these types of bills, it is always about making everyone submit to age verification. That is the whole point of these bills. Nothing to do with protecting children. I cannot stress that enough. They don't care about protecting children. Otherwise, worldwide, there would have been far more outrage about the Epstein files. This is just about getting everyone onto a digital ID of sorts, which includes age verification. Age verification, age estimation, all of these things are actually, they form part of the digital ID ecosystem. It goes on that the government says that the measures are necessary to protect the children online, but opponents argue the policy will dramatically expand government-backed digital identity records, of course. So the proposal apparently goes beyond Australia's recently adopted social media restrictions by introducing what critics describe as a de facto digital ID requirement for internet participation. And here's the key. To access major platforms, users will need to prove their age through verification systems approved by regulators. While the government insists the measures are designed to protect minors, opponents warn they will eliminate online anonymity for millions of law-abiding citizens. Absolutely, and not just eliminate online anonymity, but it will force you to link your opinions and the things that you like and even the things that the algorithm is recording that you're watching to your identity. Guess what that does? a social credit system linked to your identity, everything, your interests, potential dissent that you may share with someone that someone posted a video and you agree with it. Now you're marked as a dissenter against ABC agenda or XYZ politician or whatever the case may be. It is building a dossier on you, which will be attributed to your social credit score. Mark my words. The restrictions are expected to be enabled by default for users under 18, with officials also considering additional controls such as overnight curfews, mandatory breaks from scrolling, and broader restrictions on online activity. Artificial intelligence chatbots will also face new restrictions, with so-called romantic companion AI systems required to enforce an age limit of 18. The ban also reportedly includes restrictions on gaming and live streaming platforms, which at this point we don't know how far-reaching that will be. From what we've been able to gather, it includes platforms like Twitch, but it isn't yet clear whether this will extend to other platforms that have live streaming features also. Adults will be able to access social media, but they'll need to submit to age checks like facial recognition, digital IDs, passports, and credit cards. The US Embassy in the UK responded earlier this month to the proposed ban. The New York Post has reported that the US opposes the ban, but that's not necessarily what the US Embassy has said. Here is the page on the uk.usembassy.gov website. US government response to the UK consultation growing up in the online world. They say that they welcome the opportunity to input on the UK's consultation on child safety measures. And it further says that the United States does have concerns about mandating specific product design on restrictions as a primary regulatory approach. While we recognize legitimate concerns about certain platform features, we believe that the most effective path forward focuses on empowering parents and legal guardians, encouraging healthy options, avoiding restrictions on developing or designing technologies. But then it goes on to expressly state that the United States does not categorically oppose age assurance measures, but we urge careful consideration of their scope and implementation. So that is pretty clear. The United States does not categorically oppose age assurance measures. Then it goes on to say that the United States...
But they are working on something to get people microchips still, regardless.
States strongly supports privacy-preserving age assurance technologies such
They gotta work on some kind of plan.
as zero-knowledge proof. We'll talk about that in a moment. We strongly oppose regulations that require or create conditions that compel platforms to collect government-issued IDs. That's good, but we still have zero-knowledge proof there. Device-level opt-in mechanisms should be...
Alright, let me get to this last video. I ain't gonna play no more. Let me see what I'm saying. 27 minutes. If you want to watch the rest of it, there go the title of this video, there go the channel. Let's get to this last one. I watched a little bit of it, and it's hilarious. It's so hilarious. You'll fall out your seat laughing. It's a gut buster, bruh.
If someone asks you what the mark of the beast is, you probably have an answer ready. A microchip. A barcode. Some kind of...
Where's the microchip? There's not no barcode. What the fuck is this? What's the UN? The United Nations? What the fuck, the United Nations? What is this? Anyway.
A future technology that a global government will force on everyone who wants to buy or sell. That answer has been repeated so many times in so many churches, and so many prophecy books that most people assume it must be what the Bible...
Well, they ain't in the Christian church. They ain't talking about no mark of the beast. They're not mentioning anything about the mark of the beast. Oh, they probably are, but they ain't saying it's a chip implant. They fucking ain't saying shit. And plus, they ain't gonna say shit because they 501c3.
Bible actually says. There is one problem. The Bible never mentions technology. Not once. And the people who first read the book
of course not, dummy. Whoever written this AI gave the words for this AI narrator. And of course they ain't gonna mention. It's a mystery, nigga. And it's up to the prophets to tell you what it is. It's the Lord put the spirit on the prophets, and the prophets tell you what the mark of the beast is. And if you don't take it serious, you don't know what it is. I mean, you don't believe it is, then your ass is grass. You're gonna get mowed over by that Lake of Fire lawnmower. And another thing that's all, who these crackers? And the Israelites didn't look like the, well, you do have Israelites that will look like the heathens, but the majority of them are people of color. Who the hell these niggas are? Who are these imposters? Where their small hats on? Where their small hats at? Now, it's funny. These motherfuckers ain't never, like, they'll show images of people back in the ancient biblical times. Most likely they'll say these are the Israelites. But why are these niggas now got them little beanie caps on? Why the hell these niggas got them beanie caps on? Shit. Anyway.
Revelation, Christians living in the Roman Empire in the 1st century
Christians, what the fuck these niggas
AD had no category for microchips or barcodes, but they understood
What the hell this nigga doing? That nigga creeping up behind him. This nigga weird as fuck. You see him? He hiding right behind this old nigga.
exactly what the mark of the beast meant, because they were living under
Well,
it.
they got a mark on a chip and a mark on a heart. That's not. Anyway. And first off, they saying that the mark of the beast is not the chip. If it's the mark of the beast is gonna be in your heart, explain to me what about that grievous sore? Once you get the chip implant, there's gonna be a grievous sore. Let me see if I can find it. Oh man, grievous sore. Yeah, Revelation chapter 16, verse 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and they fell how you say it, a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast. So if you get the chip implant, your ass is going to get a cancer lump, some bad looking shit on your hand or anywhere else in your body, a cancer lump. And they've been known they try to cover that shit up. A lot of these animals end up getting tumors and cancers from that same spot, or either it moves, the cancer can move somewhere else. But most of the time it be that same spot with a implant. They put an implant in some of these animals, and they end up dying from cancer. Yeah, good. I remember, was it 2017? They had a bunch of articles of that shit, but now you can't find no motherfuckers no more. They're all talking about the same shit, and some of them mainstream articles. Yep, it wasn't like no independent news. It was like that and mainstream talking about it. But anyway, and upon them which worship his image. Yep.
And once you understand what the mark of the beast actually meant to the people who first received this book, you will realize the real meaning is far more personal, far more immediate, and far more unsettling than a microchip ever could be.
Oh my goodness. So what the fuck is it then? Just get straight to the point. Tell me what the mark of the beast is, nigga. They ain't gonna tell you right away. They gotta it's a cliffhanger. It's a hang on to the edge of your seat moment. They gotta keep it like that. The mark of the beast is the chip implant.
What we are going to do today. We are going to look at the actual Greek word the Bible uses. We are going to look at the Roman historical
and nobody was speaking that, writing this type of shit back in the ancient times. No.
Context that the original
talking about this shit. I don't even know what language this is. Probably made up.
readers lived in. We are going to trace the Old Testament background that John was drawing on, and by the time we are finished, you will...
Oh, that what a mark look like? It's printed on her head.
Understand that the mark of the beast is not primarily a future event to be afraid of. It is a present question about allegiance that every human being is already answering. Let us start with the book itself, because context is everything, and most people skip it entirely. The book of Revelation was written by the Apostle John, most likely around 95 AD, during the reign of the Roman Emperor Domitian. John was in exile on the island of Patmos, a small rocky island off the coast of modern Turkey, because of his testimony about Jesus. He had been removed from society, isolated, punished for his faith, and he wrote to 7 specific churches in the Roman province of Asia, modern Western Turkey.
What the fuck is this shit? Oh my goodness. What the fuck is this shit?
Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamum, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, Laodicea. These were not abstract future audiences. These were real congregations of real people facing a specific and immediate crisis. Here is the crisis. The Roman Empire, by the time of Domitian, had developed what historians call the imperial cult, the official worship of the Roman emperor as a divine being. This was not a fringe practice. It was
Esau worshiping that nigga.
woven into the fabric of civic, economic, and social life throughout the empire. Temples to the emperor stood in most major cities. Festivals honoring the emperor as Lord and God were regular events, and participation in these rituals was not optional for people who wanted to function in society. Trade guilds, the professional associations that controlled access to markets and commerce, required their members to participate in religious ceremonies honoring the emperor and the Roman gods. Here is what that meant for Christians in the first century. To buy and sell in the normal economy, you needed to be part of a trade guild. To be part of a trade guild, you needed to participate in ceremonies that honored Caesar as Lord. But Christians confessed that Jesus, not Caesar, was Lord, which
No, Yahweh Shah. No fucking punk ass Jeeba. And this nigga got a haircut. No, that nigga Jeeba supposed to have a long hair down to his feet, dragging on the floor like a nasty hippie. That nigga got a haircut. That nigga hair supposed to be way down to the floor. He damn near will have dreadlocks. Oh, nasty nigga.
Meant that faithful Christian witness in the Roman Empire came with a direct economic and social cost. You could conform to the imperial system and keep your income, your social standing, your place in the community. Or you could refuse and face poverty, exclusion, and in some cases death. That is the world John was writing to.
What the fuck is this? What is the... Oh, whatever.
Not a future world of global governments and implanted chips. A present world, present for his readers, of Caesar worship, trade guild pressure, and the
What the fuck?
daily choice of whose lordship to confess. And into that world, John writes...
Hold on. Go back.
You could conform to the imperial system and keep your income, your social standing, your place in the community. Or you could refuse and face poverty, exclusion, and in some cases death. That is the...
So you have a choice to live under this type of rulership or this type of rulership. But if I choose this type of rulership, I don't have to get into a time machine to go back in that time. What the fuck? That's why you check AI. God dang it. These niggas need to stop using AI so fucking much. And if you're gonna use it, check that shit. Not check it like a green check. I mean, check and make sure it. What it do? I mean, we ain't living in the Roman times no more. We living in a time that's gonna be looking like this shit. We ain't living in a time like this. We living in a time where we gonna be looking like this shit right now. Anyway,
the world John was writing to. Not a future world of global governments and implanted chips.
wait a minute. You mean to tell me John wasn't writing? Hold on, wait a minute.
Or you could refuse and face poverty, exclusion, and in some cases death. That is the world John was writing to. Not a future world of global governments and implant...
Oh, really? Well, yeah, he was writing about a future world, nigga. And look, we at that future right now. The fuck he talking about, bruh? What are these people talking about? Ain't no microchips? It's June.
...in the community. Or you could refuse and face poverty, exclusion, and in some cases death. That is the world John was writing to. Not a future...
Yeah, he's writing to a world where there's going to be poverty, and there's going to be also a future world where there's going to be cameras watching everywhere, fucking surveillance everywhere, and there's going to be famine of the word, censorship. Yeah, and there's going to be people telling on one another. There's going to be love, many wax, and cold. And shit, the fuck is AI nigga talking about?
Future world of global governments and implanted chips. A present world, present for his readers, of Caesar worship, trade guild pressure, and the daily choice of whose lordship to confess. And into that world...
Okay, I'm confused. What the fuck these nigga AI talking about?
John writes a vision of a beast that demands worship, and a mark that those who worship the beast receive. His readers knew exactly what he was talking about. Here is what most people miss when they read about the mark of the beast. The English word mark translates a specific Greek word. That word is charagma.
Charagma. Well, wait a minute. The English? That sounds is Greek. No. Okay, hold on. Let me go back because, you know.
Mark translates as... Here is what most people miss when they read about the mark of the beast. The English word mark translates...
English word, okay. The English word translates to charagma. But that's...
Specific Greek word. That word is charagma.
Okay, it's a Greek word, yeah.
And charagma is not a generic word for a mark. It has a precise and historically loaded meaning. In the Roman world, charagma referred to the imperial stamp or seal, the mark that authenticated a document as a...
Let me pause the video so I can look something up. Be right back, Lord Willie. Alright, I'm back. Now I found the word mark or charagma. Now they say stamp. Now, hold on, let's go back.
Roman world, charagma referred to the imperial stamp or seal, the mark that authenticated a document as official, that identified an object as belonging to the emperor, that certified a transaction as having been approved by Rome.
Okay, let's get the blue letter. Wait, it says charagma.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma.
Charagma. Oh, charagma. And it says a stamp and imprinted mark of a mark stamped on the forehead or in the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist? Well, Antichrist, first off, is many. It's not just one. And of course, they changed this shit up. Supposed to be Mark branded on upon horses, changed. But what was it? What is it? Antichrist. Come on now. Damn, I'm tired. Talking about Antichrist, but it's not one, it's many. Like we got homosexuals, they Antichrist, dykes, and fucking liars, murderers, rapists, child molesters, people that do shit that's against what the Lord wants you not to do. He don't want you to do certain things, and guess what? People do it, and they do it and not give a fuck. Makes you an Antichrist. 1 John chapter 2 verse 11. No, verse 18. Little children, it is the same. And it's talking about you Israelites. It is the same. No, it is the last time. And as ye have heard, the Antichrist shall come. Even now are there many Antichrists. So there's many of them. There's a whole lot of them. From these monkey ass heathens that you other niggas thinking that the heathens can be saved. No, the fuck they can't be. Whereby ye know that it is the last time. We in that last time, especially now the end times. But yeah, they saying, yeah. Get back to the video.
It was also used specifically for the image of the emperor that appeared on Roman coins. When you held a Roman coin, you were holding a charagma, the emperor's image and name stamped into.
So they saying the money is the mark of the beast? Or no? Hold it. I don't know.
The metal. And there is a moment in the Gospels that connects directly to this. When the Pharisees tried to trap Jesus on the question of taxes, they brought him a Roman coin. Jesus asked whose image and inscription were on it. They said Caesar's, and Jesus said, "Render to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what."
Well, what about the chip implant? Because ain't the chip implant is Esau's shit? It might not have a picture of a head on the chip, but it still belongs to the Esau. And yeah, oh my goodness. What it says, 666. Is the 666 represents a man and his hold on, let me just go ahead and get it. Where I'm at, mark of the what it says. Let him have understanding, count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. I can't remember what's the 666 is tied in when it comes to that chip implant, but that represents the man though, and that man be Esau, even so-called white man. 666 represents him, because it says shit. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So that's Esau, Edom, so-called white man, but he ain't white. He's red. He's a baby dick sucking Jewish faggot nigger Amalek, the biggest anti-Mashiach in the world.
Is God's.
And there's many, but he's the number one when it comes to Esau Amalek.
The image on the coin identified whose it was. The charagma determined ownership and allegiance. So when John writes about the mark of the beast, the charagma of the beast, he is using language that his first century readers understood immediately. The charagma of the beast is the mark of imperial ownership. It identifies whose you are. It declares whose system you have bought into, whose lordship you have submitted to.
Yeah, you're Esau's bitch, pretty much. Yeah, you. But what is the mark of the beast? They still ain't telling you shit.
This is not a physical implant. This is a symbol of allegiance. And here is where the Old Testament background becomes.
So they telling you, hey, even if the implantable microchips come and they want you to take the shit and it's mandatory, yeah, these motherfuckers gonna say, yeah, take it. It's okay, it's fine. The Lord is not gonna kill you. Right. Ah, shit. Hit on the wrong button. Wrong video.
If someone asks you what
where I'm at, I think I'm right here.
Ownership submitted to, This is not a physical implant. This is a symbol of allegiance. And here is where the Old Testament background becomes essential.
So if it's not a physical implant, why does it say in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, only King James, and there's other versions of the Bible, they'll say on, but there's some they'll say in, but we sticking with King James and King James only. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, and not too long ago, bond, being somebody who's a slave, who's in prison, locked up. They're talking about microchipping prisoners that's in prison or jail here in America. They're talking about that right now. But anyway, let me continue on. To receive a mark in their right hand, because they use their chip implant, they're tracking people, use it for buying and selling. Yeah. To receive a mark in their right hand, it could be in your left, it could be in your feet, it could be in your butt cheeks, it could be in your titty, all that weird shit. But most likely they want it in your right hand or in your left hand. And right hand is just because most predominantly people are right-handed, but it could be in your left or in their foreheads, the brain chip. Oh, let's get to this. And that no man might buy or sell. So if you don't have the market beast, you can't buy or sell. So what the fuck this nigga, what the hell you talking about? If it's not the chip implant, what the hell is the market beast? And if you don't take the market beast, you can't buy or sell. What is it? Is it sin? No. These niggas are retarded, bro. They just trying to do something that spice it up. Stop it. It's shit. Leave it alone. They don't need no add-ons. Leave it alone, nigga. Clearly it's the chip implant. Damn. But a lot of people gonna get fucked up out here.
Here is what most people...
That's why, hey man, the water Yahweh Shemal Shah for letting, hey man, giving you the eyes to see and the ears to hear and the brain cells to process what's going on, man. And to know their names and hear the prophets. And man, you just pray the Lord keep you in this thing till the missiles come. And get you out of here when the missiles come. Now, don't keep you in this thing when keep you in this world getting destroyed by the missile. You want to get you out of this world when the missiles come. That's what I meant to say.
Location of the mark. Revelation 13:16 says the mark is placed...
It could be your left hand, your feet, your butt cheeks, or your titty, or man boobs if you're a man. It could be anywhere in your body. Anywhere in your body. But right hand, well, you got the grain of rice chip. Yeah, they say that's a good conductor in your hand or in your brain.
It's on the right hand or the forehead. Most people read this as a physical description.
Oh, here we go. They say, no, but it's not the implants. But what the fuck is it then? Nigga, they even still say what the mark of the beast is.
Of where a future implant will go. But in the first century, a Jewish reader, and John was a Jewish writer steeped in the Hebrew scriptures.
First off, he's not Jewish. And nobody wasn't wearing no black blocks on their fucking head. And back then, they wasn't writing in these texts, in this format. They were writing and reading Paleo Hebrew, ancient Hebrew. The real OG, the original the OEM Hebrew. Not this Yiddish shit, this fucking aftermarket crap. No. They ain't had no black cubes on their head or wrapping their arms with fucking electric tape and shit. No, they weren't doing that dumb shit. Hell, I was even reading that last night. Like, goddamn, these niggas wasn't doing stuff. I mean, the men of old wasn't doing shit like that. That's what these fucking heathens are doing. It's some Saturn worship shit. Wrapping their arms with some fucking electric tape. That's stupid. That look like bondage shit. Look like a fucking gimp.
Would have heard
semi-gimp.
Those words and immediately thought of something else entirely. Deuteronomy chapter 6.
Slap that black cube off his motherfucking head. Like, psh, get the fuck out of here, nigga. They don't even say that, too. That scripture they talking about, they can back that up. But it doesn't say to put a black cube on top of your head. No. It don't even say nothing about putting a fucking beanie cap on top of your head either. A man don't even supposed to have, most likely, Israelite men don't even supposed to have a head cover. You put a little beanie on top, especially if they prophesying or preaching. Shit. Worshiping the Lord, praying to the Lord, you're supposed to have your head covered.
The most important prayer in Judaism. Hear, O Israel,
Judaism.
the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
Look, there they go with that blockhead and that electric tape shit.
And you shall love...
This shit is shit, because nobody wasn't, this shit never existed until the 1800s. Shit.
the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might. And these words that I command you today shall be on your heart. You shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. The hand and the
Yeah, they
forehead.
talking the scriptures about this dumb shit right here, because that's what I was reading last night. They talking about this dumb shit. But what's the mark of the beast, bro? They still ain't got to that yet.
The sign on the hand and the frontlets between the eyes. This is the language God used to
Oh my
describe.
god! So they're using physical. Something like this is physical, but not inside of you. There's something spiritual that's inside of you that's written in you. Not what the fuck is this shit?
How Israel was to mark their allegiance to him. They
By
were to
wrapping a fucking block on your head and wrapping some electric tape on your arm. Where's that scripture? They don't even describe. They don't even say it. What? Anyway.
bind the words of the Torah on their hands and between their eyes.
Oh my goodness, this is so idiotic. That's why these niggas are not the people. And you be like, check this out. And they damn sure don't fit the prophecy, because these niggas here, they didn't go under no bondage in Egypt. Hell no, they didn't leave from Egypt on boats and such. No. Hell, these niggas own slave auctions? And it's funny, why did the slave auctions always close on a daggone Jewish holiday? Because they run the fucking slave auctions.
Full declaration of whose they were and whose law governed them. The Pharisees took this literally and wore phylacteries, small leather boxes containing scripture, on their hands and foreheads during prayer. John is directly inverting this imagery. In Revelation, the beast offers his own mark, on the right hand and the forehead, as a counterfeit of God's mark, where God's people are to bear the words of the Lord as a sign on their hands and foreheads.
So you mean to tell me they're wearing them blocks on their head? That's part of that. That's part of the mark. So that's not the market. What the fuck is going on? This shit is so retarded. They trying to tie that shit to, oh, that's the God's mark. The beast mark. But who's the beast? Anyway, this shit is retarded as fuck, bro.
The beast's followers bear his mark in those same locations. It is a deliberate parallel, a deliberate inversion. The question being asked is not where will you put a chip. The question is whose sign will you bear? Whose words will govern your hand, your actions? Whose allegiance will sit between your eyes, your mind, your devotion, your worship? The mark of the beast is the Old Testament language of allegiance being applied to the imperial cult. It is asking, are you marked as God's or as Caesar's?
Boy, this video gonna get a lot of people microchip and get that mark of the beast. Goodness gracious.
There is the number, Revelation 13:18. This calls for wisdom. Let the one who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man.
And I mean, seriously, you have an object, you have this chip in your right hand or in your forehead. Do they still tell you what the mark of the beast is?
And his number is 666. This verse has generated more speculation than almost any
It represents a man.
other verse in Scripture. People have tried to decode it as a reference to barcodes, to computer systems,
And yeah, it's tied into that.
to credit cards, to various modern political figures. Every generation finds a new candidate. But here is what most people miss. John was not writing in code for a future generation. He was writing in code for his present generation. Code that his first century readers could break. And the code he was using had a name. It was called gematria. Gematria is the ancient practice of assigning numerical values to letters. Every letter in Hebrew and Greek had a corresponding number. And when you added up the numerical value of the letters in a name, you got a number that could identify that person without naming them directly. Writing in code was not unusual in apocalyptic literature. It was a protective measure. If the book fell into Roman hands, the author could not be directly charged with sedition for naming the emperor. When you take the name Nero Caesar, the Roman emperor notorious for his brutal persecution of Christians, and transliterate it into Hebrew letters and add up their numerical values, you get 666. This was
That's what I tell you, man. I'm like, this shit will blow you away. The madness.
first worked out by modern scholars studying early manuscripts, but many early church fathers also pointed toward Nero as the primary referent. Here is what most people miss about this. Some early manuscripts of Revelation actually have the number as 616, not 666. And when you transliterate Nero Caesar from Latin rather than Hebrew, you get 616. The variation in the manuscripts is itself evidence that...
But what is the mark of the beast, bitch? Damn. What
The first readers understood the number as a reference to a specific historical person, not a future global system.
Oh, really? So first is not... So John ain't writing to people to the future. But that's what a prophet is supposed to be. He writing things for the present time. He's writing this warning to the present time. No, the job of a prophet is writing, warning you about something that's going to happen. Matter of fact, let's look up prophet. Let's look up what is a prophet and prophecy. What is prophecy? A prophecy is a prediction of future events, not present. Hoe ass nigga. Shit. What the fuck did AI talking about? And inspired declaration believed to come from the supernatural or divine source. This is about the future, a prediction of future events, not present events. John is not warning people of his time where he was, in the present time. What the fuck? Who the hell made that bullshit? Yeah, I only played like 1 minute, I believe, or less than a minute of this madness of this video, and damn, I didn't know it was gonna be this bad. Shit. Oh yeah, let's look up the word prophet. You already know prophet gonna be talking about somebody who's predicting something that's gonna happen in the future. Let's see, look that up. What is a prophet? A prophet is an individual regarded as a inspired spokesperson, or what do you call it? Damn, I can't pronounce that word, bro. Shit.
Interpreter.
Interpreter, yeah. Interpreter for a deity. Yeah, pretty much prophets are representatives of Yahweh Shema Rashai, and our job is to warn their people. Not all the people. Well, we tell all the people that, hey, for you heathens, you're going to slavery, bitch. And your world's coming to an end, bitch. Y'all about to be slaves, bitch. We tell them that. But when it comes to our people, hey, seek Yahweh Shema Shah, repent. The chip implant is the chip implant is the mark of the beast. The implantable microchip. It goes in your right hand, your left hand, anywhere in your body, but also in your forehead and your brain is the mark of the beast. You need to seek the Lord, pray the Lord have mercy and give you the strength to endure. This bitch ass AI, whoever made this crap, they didn't get destroyed by nuclear destruction. And there's only one comment. They probably deleted all the other comments. I don't know if anybody watched this shit. Only 7 people. Yeah.
Scribes adjusted the number based on their transliteration of the same name, Nero Caesar, the emperor who blamed Christians for the Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD.
So they're saying the mark of the beast is just 666 on your hand, on your forehead. I don't know. I don't know. They ain't saying what the mark of the beast is.
Who executed Christians in horrific ways, who represented the full brutal power of the beast that demanded worship.
Oh my goodness, everybody gonna be, there's only a couple of Negroes out here that got the, but anyway, you got Mary, Sally, Raphael, whatever the fuck, Mary, Sally, and Becky. They got the Yiddish on their foreheads and shit. And it's supposed to be the lamb? That's a ram. Anyway, AI is fucking retarded. Somebody should have checked these bug outs, man. They got this Yiddish on their foreheads. Yeah, I guess that's the mark of God. But shit.
And persecuted those who refused. The number
the mark of God ain't gonna be no Yiddish on your forehead.
666 was John's way of saying the name without saying the name. And here is where it gets deeper. 6 is the number of man in Jewish numerology, 1 short of 7, the number of perfection and completion. 3 sixes, the number of man
You're
cubed.
right. Number 7 is completion.
Maximum human pretension to divine authority. The beast is not God, he is man claiming to be God. And the number
Well, who is that man? Esau, nigga.
says so. And here's some
And actually, beast is not a man. It's supposed to be NATO, or United Nations, EU, NATO. That shit.
thing that most interpretations of the mark of the beast completely overlook. The mark of the beast does not appear in Revelation without contrast. Immediately before John introduces the beast and his mark in chapter 13, chapter 7 describes another mark, God's seal placed on the foreheads of his servants. And in chapter 14, immediately after the description of the mark of the beast, John sees the 144,000 standing with the Lamb, and they have the Lamb's name.
Okay, and that's it. But they still ain't telling you what the mark of the beast is. They still ain't telling you what the mark of the beast is. They telling you mostly what the mark of the beast ain't. But they ain't telling you what it is. Well, the prophets are set up to tell you people what it is, and it's the chip implant. And it's so funny. Anytime you come out, I remember watching GMS videos of brothers having their videos. They always get flagged about chip implants or something. That's why. And then plus another thing, depends on how viewed your channels are. They will start censoring you if you getting more traction with more views and more subscribers. Then they will start censoring you if you start talking more about, you got speaking code when you talking about chip implant is the mark of the beast. But I'm thinking now they free. I guess they freely they saying it without any any bullshit. I don't know, cause I haven't experienced any shit yet. I mean, I had to open up this is my second time with YouTube, dealing with posting videos on YouTube, and I haven't had any issues. I mean, the last time I did, last time that I switched over to Odyssey. But anyway, man, this is ridiculous. A lot of people gonna die because of shit like that. Let me get to this last. Let me read one more scripture again, because it's all leading to that chip implant. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3. For the vision is yet. No, actually, let me start at 1. 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision, which there be the prophecies, and make it plain upon tables. Make it simple that people can read for the future, not for the present. Well, at that time when the prophets was writing things and putting it out so the future can read it. And the present. Oh, I mean, people are back then, but hey, this is really for the people of the future, which that's right now. I don't know what the fuck AI talking about. That he may run that readeth it. So look what the prophets are doing right now. They prophesy, and they were prophesying back then. But right now, we really going in hard, warning you Israelites, because this is it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. And it will surely come. It will not tarry, so it ain't gonna delay. And I'm like, damn, that what was John was writing, it was about the future of things he's seen. And a lot of prophets, hey man, what? Come on, man. What Ezra's was writing about things he's seeing that's gonna be happening in the future. And what did he say at that time? What did he say back in that time? 2 Ezra chapter 16 verse 17. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? In those days be the future. Back then he was getting no visions. That was the past. But he's looking at the future, and what's going on in the future? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The beginning of famine and great death, and a lot of that building up. The beginning of wars, World War III, class wars, civil wars, race wars. And the power shall stand in fear. They got their bunkers set up and ready to hide out in those bitches. Yeah, because it's about to get crazy out here. There got to be a false flag event like no other about to pop off sooner or later. Another 9/11. And it's gonna overtop the first shit. This one gonna be a lot of mass casualties. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's gonna be the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils come? Seek Yahweh Shema Shah and repent. Yeah, I'm gonna stop right there, but man, fuck that AI video. That shit garbage, man. I mean, they had me ticked off and pissed off, but man, it's good. They'll let you know, hey man, you're gonna see more crap like this, because they don't want people to know what the mark of the beast is. Shit. They don't want nobody to know, and a lot of these people are ignorant as hell. Hey man, I was watching this one video with this one bug out nigga. Boy, you gotta be careful who you watching, bro. This guy here got a video talking about the this old dude. Where that shit at? I played this old nigga. His video. Where is it at? The fuck is this shit? It was this right here.
That's just the way you
Plus
make
this shit.
Get that big deal
I'm
feeling
gonna say plus this shit is damn monetized.
this Prime Day, June 23rd through the 26th.
This nigga said, Pharaoh said that.
If you're a tool person looking for high quality, affordable tools,
Only access your
This old dude called himself Pharaoh. Pharaoh said that. He got all this Egyptian art. He got a big ass vinyl collection. But then it says, call yourself Pharaoh, but then you got that right there. So I'm guessing he knows he's an Israelite too. But that ain't got nothing to do with Israel. Fuck no. And that don't for them baby dick sucking Jewish faggot fuckers. But anyway, he talking about chip implants and such. He got a lion on here, so he don't know what the fuck is going on. He's all fucking confused. He think an Egyptian pharaoh, and he's a Hebrew Israelite at the same time. Anyway, but at least he know what the mark of the beast is. I'm guessing, yeah, because it says microchip, and he's talking about the prisoners being microchip. But it was another video of a bug out that I was going to play, but I didn't want to play because, well, I played like a little bit of the video, but this nigga was talking about some bugged out ass shit.
That's the part they leave.
This nigga here talking about some, they want Kamalo microchip in prison. Well, shit. They want all you niggas, not just in prison, they want all you niggas free and bond. Oh, yeah, he know, what the fuck? Look at this shit. He call himself Uncle Yahoo Yasha or something. I don't know how you pronounce this shit. Yahoo. Oh my goodness. And you got this guy here called Tamar y'all. Anyway, I'll stop there. All you need to know is Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. That's it. And this nigga here, these niggas claim to be Hebrew Israelites, but they want Cash App. This video is monetized. And I don't know what else to say, man. Anyway, stay away from these bug outs.
Now, y'all remember Elon Musk said this a couple of years ago? I think it was 2015, when he was against AI, when he said, and that was the 2022 with the jab juice.
And this nigga here got long ass hair, like a bitch. He got them dreads. Stay away from them niggas.
When he said, don't take it because of the mRNA statin and it changes your DNA.
He never said that shit. Stop lying, nigga. Because if he did, then he should be telling you not to take the chip implant or the brain chip, if that's the case.
And he said they can control you. He said they can turn you into a butterfly, and they can. He literally said this stuff, right?
Turn you into a butterfly. All right, man. Let me get the fuck on. Yeah, man. Stay away from these bug outs. That nigga probably about as high as fuck. Probably sniffing on too much glue. Well, rubber cement. Whatever the hell you call that shit. Anyway, man. Where I left off at. Oh, yeah. Seek Yahweh by Shema Shah by seeking his prophets and take heed what to say. And try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh by Shema Shah. By praying Yahweh by Shema Shah. Praising Yahweh by Shema Shah. Worshiping Yahweh by Shema Shah. Fearing Yahweh by Shema Shah. And repenting Yahweh by Shema Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh by Shema Shah. Keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh by Shema Shah, stay humble. And for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh by Shema Shah, stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order. Yahweh by Shema Shah, peace and blessings to the whole full elect. And all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.